So let's be perfectly honest. Even for the most resilient of us, the last 2 years have been a tad difficult. And that's why I feel like talking about releasing is so important right now, and believing and manifesting in general, because like I said in the last video, whether you are spiritually centered or not, whether you believe in manifesting or not, these tools will help you get through life no matter what you believe in, because they just make life a little easier. So once you've gotten to the point where you believe you can have what you want, because as I said in the last video, we get what we believe we are capable of having, no more, no less. So if you want more, you have to believe you can have more. But then after that, the next step in the spiritual mindset or manifesting or whatever you want to call it is releasing your manifestation, releasing your ideas to the universe. And that comes down to faith in the universe, trust in the universe that it has your back. And that's a big part of being able to release or let go. And you're letting go of a couple of things. You're letting go of the outcome of whatever it is you're trying to achieve or wherever it is you're trying to get to. And you're releasing what it's going to take to get there. And it's funny because a lot of people will find this kind of contradictory, because the first step in believing accumulates to deciding what you is equivalent to believing in that you can have what you want and deciding what it is you want and figuring out what it would take to get there. And then you're just letting that all go. Or at least that's what it seems to some people, but you're not exactly doing that. You're letting go of your attachment to it. And that is the difference. Because in the grand scheme of things, we have an idea of what we want, but we don't always know what we want, and we don't always realize that what we think we want is going to look a little different than what we thought it would look like. Even though we are getting exactly what we want, it just looks a little different than we thought it would when we were in the planning stages. And then we have these planning stages where we figure out, okay, what is it going to take for me to get there? But if you hold on too tightly to each step that you've planned out to get there, you're going to find yourself very stressed out and disappointed if those things don't work out. So the whole point and purpose of figuring out what you want is it gives you goals and points and purposes to work towards, which makes life a hell of a lot better. And the point and purpose of figuring out how you're going to get there is to give you starting points. But from there, you have to release all of those things, trusting that the universe is going to give you exactly what, not just what you want, but what you need. And trusting that you may actually find something better, not just when it comes to what you want. You might actually get something better, not just with what you want, but this including how to go through those steps, what steps you have to go through to get it. So you've done all this planning, and to some people it seems like, well, why did I do all this planning if I'm just releasing to the universe to get me there? And it's because, like I said in the last video, you do have to have a certain amount of understanding of how it could work out. But again, if you hold on too tightly to how it's supposed to work out, then you're just going to find yourself stressed. And that's no fun, for starters. It's going to lower your vibration. That can make you end up no longer being a vibrational match for what it is that you wanted. And if you're not a vibrational match for what you want, then you're not going to get what you want. So being able to say, okay, this is my plan, but then release that, saying, okay, if at any point during this plan things don't work out the way I expect them to, I'm not going to be bothered by this. I'm not going to be stressed by this. That's what releasing is all about. Allowing yourself to be like, you know what? This or something better. This is bringing me to what I want. I trust in this. I have faith in this. I have faith that the universe is supporting me and has my back. And that if things don't work out exactly how I expected to, I'm assuming that it's because it's actually making it easier for me than had I tried to follow X, Y, and Z specifically, which it does just by simply not getting stressed out by things. That's the funny thing about us human beings is when we can just relax for a moment, take a deep breath, and go, yeah, this isn't working out how I expected, but as long as it works out, then why does it have to work out exactly how you how you expected, if it works out in the end? And that's what the whole releasing process is about, is having the faith that even if things don't go exactly to plan, even if things don't in the end look back, or even if things don't look exactly how you expected them to in the beginning, you're not frustrated by it because you recognize, they always say hindsight is 20/20. And often when we do finally get there, when we allow ourselves to not be holding on too tightly to exactly what we expected, then we can be more than happy with what we got because we got what we wanted. And being able to recognize that in and of itself is releasing. It's just all about being able to have that faith from the beginning that it's going to in the end. And I can understand personally how difficult that can be sometimes. There is this meme that I stumbled upon recently that I was feeling recently. And I ended up saying something on Instagram about this, which is that I have felt this way before, and yet when I think about it, the way I felt before was more painful. Definitely more painful. So I can sit here now and be grateful for this feeling, even with it being frustrating, because I know where feeling that way got me in the past. I know that anytime I felt that way, amazing things came from it. And I can look back and recognize that I have clearly healed and grown since, because yeah, I am a little frustrated, but I'm only a little frustrated. And when I first felt that feeling, it was painful. But it's not painful anymore. It's just frustrating. And honestly, a little funny. And being able to not take yourself too seriously is a great tool to have in your mindset toolbox when it comes to being able to release the frustration and the sadness that comes from being attached to things when all the attachment is doing is bringing you frustration. So, yeah. Take a big stretch with me, shall we? Take a dig. Take a big deep breath. Oh, release. Let it go. Oh, everything's gonna be okay. Trust me. I know how frustrating it can be in the moment. I know how painful it can be in the moment. But the more mindful you allow yourself to become, the more you can release. And the more you release those attachments, the happier you will be. Because you will be less stressed and more in tune. And there is nothing that feels better than that moment where you can say, you know what? Screw it. It's gonna work out. This or something better. Show me the way. And that is my favorite mantra. This or something better. Show me the way. Alright guys, thank you for joining me for another video. As always, I'm Ann Blackwood, your Silicon Valley Sage Sister, here to bring consciousness to the forefront of your daily life to make life a little kinder and simpler, and I hope I was able to do that for you today. Don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already. Still working towards that custom URL. Just need a couple more. Don't forget to check out the links in the description, all of which include my Patreon, my mailing list, my links to connect with me one-on-one. I do still have 5 spots left for one-on-one clients. So if you're ready to heal, grow, and expand your consciousness, I would love to have you. And yeah, last but not least, of course, as always, may the energies you serve you well. And let's keep making our way through.